Welcome to the flowerschool.com video library. I'm Leanne Kessler, Director of the Floral Design Institute, and today I want to share with you a fun design for Valentine's Day. Yes, the classic red roses, that's the top seller, but for a flower lover, there are so many more flowers to choose from and in such a rainbow of colors. And today I want to share with you a Sunshine Burst Valentine. First, I chose bright, sunshine-hued flowers. And what could be brighter and happier than Gerber daisies in yellow and orange? Then I thought the green mini hydrangea, a perfect accent, and then ranunculus in yellow and orange, also so grand. Then the design is just in a standard cylinder bud vase. It's great because it has a nice water reservoir. And then I thought with these gorgeous flowers, they screamed for something a little more natural, a little more organic feeling. So I created bases that gives you a feel of vines and roots. Now to create this, I used a number of different things. A bit of bind wire, a bit of excelsior, some barked wire, and then some regular twine. All this together gives you a look that's perfect for the Sunshine Valentine. To adhere the materials to the cylinder, a single U-glue strip. Just pull it off. Make sure your vase is clean and dry. You don't want any residue on it. And then adhering it to the bottom. And then pulling the strip off. And then stretching it. By stretching it, you can pull it all the way around the entire vase. Then starting with the excelsior, place that against. That's what gives you a little bit of substance, makes it chunkier on the bottom. You don't worry about it coming across the bottom because you always cut that off later. Then to secure that in place, a bit of the bind wire. You want to lash that so that it's not quite so bulky. And then twist the two ends together. Clip that off. You can go through and clip a bit of the bottom, but you always go back and do that later as well. Then adding in the barked wire. Sometimes it's easier to pull off a segment, giving it a cut, then going back. And I hold it down so that I wrap over it later to secure it in place, and then bring it tightly around the top, and then bring it down all the way to the bottom. Then bring it back, letting it get a little bit looser. And then when you get to the end, kind of twist those two ends together, and then bring the other end on around and let it hang loose for a moment. Then going back with a bit of the twine. And a bit more of the bind wire. And lash the bind wire and the twine and the barked wire all together. Then that wraps around, leaving your little bit of bind wire for use later, covering it over, twine coming around. You can move things around a little bit, keeping the bulk of the weight towards the base. Then at the end, you can tie that off. So I'm just wrapping the bind wire around the twine and then tucking it down in. Then make a decision. Do you want a little more? You can always go back and add more barked wire, more bind wire, as many times as you want till you get it full and lovely to enhance your flowers. The base can be done ahead of time. And then when you're ready to add flowers, just fill it with water, already mixed with flower food. And then I'm going to use the hydrangea to support the other blooms, just removing the lower leaves, leaving the upper because they're sort of pretty, and then cutting it short so it just rests on the lip. Easiest is just to look at it, hold it against the vessel at the side of the table, and then setting it right into place. If it's a little long, you can always cut it down again. Repeat that. Setting it in, and then you're ready to add the rest of your flowers. As you can see, you can go tall and stately, or a little wild, or a mixture of the two. Doesn't really matter. It's more fun just to see how many variations you can do. So adding a ranunculus, putting it right down through the hydrangea blossom, and repeating that. You can leave the buds on or take them off depending on what you like. Going back, adding a gerbera, which could go tall, or, like I did tall here, bring it down low on this one to give it a little variation. They don't all have to match. That way the customer can buy 1, 2, 3, maybe a dozen different ones, all a little bit different. To add a Valentine touch and coordinate, creating unity from the bottom to the top, a bit more barbed wire. Just pulling it apart and molding it into a heart, leaving one end a little longer than the other. Bring it around, and then twisting the two ends together, and then molding it to get the heart shape that you want, and then using the end just tucked right into the vessel. And then going back, adding some of the grasses for a little softness and movement that makes it look absolutely fabulous. A trio of sunshine vases, absolutely perfect for Valentine's Day. No, it's not the traditional red, but isn't it fabulous in the fire colors? For more creative inspiration and yes, videos on roses, check out our website at flowerschool.com. If you've got questions or you would like to chat with us, you can reach us through the website or by telephone at 503-223-8089. And of course, as always, I'd love to see what you create. Take a picture, send it to me, Leanne, Leanne, at floraldesigninstitute.com, or let the whole world know by sharing it, posting, and hashtag with Floral Design Institute. Now it's your turn. Have fun and do something you love.